Hey Latchkey kids, I want to do some more shout outs before we get started. Shout out to, not sure how to pronounce this, but it looks like Prime 0011able. You ever tell me how to pronounce your name one day? Nightwatch and Cyndia Dreamchild. Check out their channels, they make excellent content. Also, this look in this video is inspired by a few cool people that I met on Twitter. And I'm reading off my phone because if I try to go by memory, I will forget somebody. Shout out to 80's Movie Network. Shout out to Goonies Girl, aka 80's Best Time Ever, and shout out to 80's Then, 80's Now. If I didn't mention you today, I'm not overlooking you. I will try to shout out as many people as possible throughout the month. If you can't tell by looking at me and probably reading the title of this video, I will be reviewing Killer Workout and Death Spa. Mostly because I thought these were the exact same movie. In my young child mind, I thought they were the exact same movie. I didn't realize that they were two different movies. They sort of mixed together in my head like Mortuary and One Dark Night. Let's talk about the workout scenes. Number one, the outfits made absolutely no sense. No sports bra, some people had high heels, some people had their makeup done like this, which by the way took me about an hour and a half to do. Not to mention the hair. That was another, I don't know, 40 minutes of hairspraying and scrunching. And I learned today from my sister, shout out to her for helping me with this hair look. I learned how to back comb and tease. Another funny thing about the outfits in this movie, it takes place on the West Coast and it says 1987, but it appears to be 1984 on the West Coast when it was 87 on the East Coast, because these outfits are very much 1983, 1984. But it could be another one of those things where they shoot a movie and then they shelve it for a couple of years and then release it. I was in elementary school at that time, so my memory is probably not as good as it would be for someone who was grown at that time. And plus, what do I know? I used to watch Mousercise in the morning at that time. And the 20-minute workout. Do you guys remember the 20-minute workout, which was basically like fapping material? For my younger viewers, if you don't know what the 20-minute workout was, it was an exercise show that would come on at like maybe 5 or 6 in the morning. I just remember it was at a time when I would be getting up and getting ready for school. And it became pretty famous because it was extremely overtly sexual, from the exercise moves to the camera work. Like the camera work was dead up the girls' hoo-has when you're watching it. And this was on in the morning. Your children can see this. I mean, it was the 80s. Apparently there's full episodes of it up on YouTube if you're curious. As I said, I was Mousercise age, and then I just realized that I might have to explain what Mousercise is to younger people. Mousercise was an exercise program that came on in the morning on the Disney Channel, where they actually had people dressed up like Mickey Mouse, Minnie Mouse, Goofy, I think maybe Pluto as well, and they would do exercise in the morning with children. So anyway, while I have a memory of the 80s because I was a child during that time period, I didn't get to wear the cool outfits, again, because I was a child during that time period. So now I'm kind of living like I don't want to call it a cosplay because I feel like this is... By the time I got to the age of wearing makeup, it was already in the 90s. So I missed out on the big hair and this style of makeup and the jewelry and all that. The movie opens up with a person getting killed in the shower with the silliest of murder weapons. Shout out to the actress though. She acted her behind off. My point is she sold it. This movie objectifies everyone. The men, the women, the audience. The manager of the spa was so annoying. I was wondering if the direction she was given was just to act like an asshole. Speaking of objectification, there was guys working out and their shorts were so short I was worried about their twig and berries just dropping out of their shorts. This movie put a lot of effort into the soundtrack. I love how 80s the music was. And most of the songs seem to be written specifically for this movie. We had the closed captioning on, and if you just watch the lyrics, they're hilarious. This is the first time I ever laughed out loud at a murder weapon, and I thought to myself, are they going to use that same weapon for all of the kills? Thank goodness they didn't. They did switch it up enough for it not to be boring. The car roof scene was pretty good, and if you've seen the film, you know what I'm talking about. I won't spoil it. The weird thing is, as people are being murdered, they keep having aerobics classes, and you would think they would shut down the gym. Plus, why are people still going to aerobics classes? Like, once you hear somebody got killed, you might not want to go there for a few days, and then once you hear that multiple people have been killed, you're really going to stay away from there. There's a fight sequence in this that rivals the fight in They Live. Just kidding. It's so long and stupid, and it involves garbage cans, rakes, and some really horrible looking kung fu kicks. But it's the right kind of bad, especially the part with the rake. I thought I knew who the killer was and who the red herring was, but this movie kept on making me change my mind, which is pretty good writing, in my opinion. I like when a movie does that. It keeps you on your toes. There's a lot of stupid in this movie, but it's so stupid that it's fun, especially if you're into gratuitous aerobic scenes. There's a wild reveal that had me like, wow. And it involves some serious body horror. At the time that I watched this film, it was available for free on the FilmRise horror app on Roku. In my opinion, FilmRise plays a lot more commercials when compared to Tubi, but not nearly as much as they used to play on Crackle. I haven't watched Crackle in years, but when I used to watch Crackle, they played way too many commercials. So it's like right in the middle. More than Tubi, not as much as Crackle. Also, the commercials came on really, really loud, and the movie audio was really, really low. So FilmRise, you need to fix that. And I also need to mention that the version that's on FilmRise looks like a VHS rip. Like, it's not remastered in any way. It looks bad. The tracking hits show up on the movie, and the aspect ratio is formatted for like the big body square TV sets. So expect that if you go to watch this. But all in all, it was a fun experience. I would watch it again. I paired it with Death Spa for obvious reasons. They both have a similar premise. And I'll be back in a minute to talk about Death Spa. Did you notice in Killer Workout that the vandals spray painted Aerobicide and Death Spa on the windows? I just thought that was an interesting coincidence. The music is not as good in this, and the opening scene had a girl dancing to what I perceived to be cop thriller music, and what were the jumps that she was doing? She was trying. Ken Foray is in this, and he is a certified Scream King. He was in From Beyond, Dawn of the Dead. Trying to think, I think he was in Rob Zombie's Halloween, or it might have been part 2. I can't remember whether it was the first one or the second one, but he's been in probably more than that, but those are the 3 off the top of my head. What is this jacket though? Why did they do this to him? This is wrong. And you know who else is in this? Rosalind Cash, who is a certified Scream Queen. She was in Buckaroo Banzai. I think she was in Tales from the Hood. There was something else she was in. Vanessa Bell Calloway is in this, and she was, you know her from Coming to America. She was also in this smaller known slash movie called Holla Part 2, and this may be the debut of Karen Parsons from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. These movies have a lot in common besides the 80s, aerobics, and gyms. They both involve a person having a tragic accident at a gym where someone gets burned. There's a mystery killer and the motive is about the same. The difference is with this one, this gym is computerized. Also, there's a paranormal aspect to this story, which is very interesting. Killer Workout was a straight slasher movie, whereas this one was more of a supernatural slasher movie. The kill scenes and gore in this are much better than the ones in Killer Workout. Lots of gooey, melting, exploding heads and eyeballs. I love it. This wraps up quickly and to the point. I don't know which one I liked better, but I do think they make a great double feature. If you love the 80s, I would definitely highly recommend both of these movies. Have you seen these movies? were you grown when you saw these movies? Let me know in the comments your experience of these movies and also of the 80s. Tell me, what's your favorite, if you were around at the time, what was your favorite thing that you missed from the 80s? Mine would be all the music video shows. I would come home from school and I would flip from MTV to BT, and I'm so sad that they don't have clips of Video Soul or Video Vibrations on YouTube. It's a whole experience. I missed that. Although, I mean, on YouTube you can watch any video at any time, but the hosts of the show, I miss the video hosts of the show. But anyways, like I always say, don't take my word for it. Just because I love something doesn't mean you won't hate it, and just because I hate something doesn't mean you won't love it. Let me know what you thought of Killer Workout. Actually, it has two titles. It's Killer Workout, aka Aerobicide, and the other one is Death Spa, aka Witch Bitch. Which I feel bad they didn't go with that title. But what did you think of either of those movies? Do you plan on watching those movies? Let me know in the comments. Bye.